OSPF SLA Types, SLA Types Overview. So we have 8 SLA types. One is Router SLA, Network SLA, Summary SLA, Summary ASBR SLA, Autonomous System External SLA, Multicast OSPF SLA, Not-so-stubby Area SLA, External Attribute SLA for BGP. So this is the summary. So SLA, sorry, router SLA is generated by each router for each area it is located. In the link state ID, you will find the originating router's ID. We're gonna look at this later. All of actually 1 to 5, and I have this topology here, but we're gonna talk about that a little later. And network SLA. Network SLAs are generated by the DR. The link state ID will be the interface IP of the DR. Summary SLA. The summary SLA is created by the ABR and flooded into other areas. Summary ASBR SLA. Other routers need to know where to find the ASBR. This is why the ABR will generate a summary ASBR SLA, which will include the router ID of the ASBR in the link state ID field. And type 5 or external SLA, also known as Autonomous System External SLA. The external SLAs are generated by the ASBR. Multicast SLA, not supported and not used. And 7 is external SLA, also known as Not-so-stubby Area, NSSA SLA. As you can see area, yeah, we're going to talk about this, or I'm going to talk about this in another video. But let's talk about 1 through 5 in this video. This is the configuration that I have used to configure the routers. So let me just look at the topology here. So we have 3 routers. R1 is the ASBR in this case, 2 is the ABR, and 3 is just a internal router, just a regular router inside a area. And we also have area 0 or backbone area and area 1. And you can see the subnets between the routers, and we have loopbacks on the routers as well. All right, so let me just show the configuration to you, and let me just erase that or clear the configs here. The output. Yeah, I was just checking this myself before recording this video. Okay, so yeah, this is the configuration, OSPF configuration on R1. As you can see, we are redistributing the connected routes, subnets. Show IP interface brief. Yeah, we are redistributing all the connected subnets. Yeah. Okay. Let's check R2. So yeah, this is R2 has R2 belongs to area 0 and area 1, and by the way, R1 only belongs to area 0, and R3 only belongs to area 1. Okay, next command is this one. So this is just, of course, to verify the neighborships between the routers. So it looks like all the routers are neighbors. So R1 is neighbor with has a has a peering with R2 or a neighborship with R2, and R2 has a neighborship with both R1 and R3, and R3 has a neighborship with R2, and that makes sense based on our uh, topology here. Okay, next, this is actually how we can check the SLA types. This command. This is what we can use to check the SLA or the link state database. Let me just remove that. Okay. Okay, so let's look at R1 first. So it says here, this is router link states or SLA, router SLA. So it says here that router SLA is generated by each router for each area it is located. So if we are going to look at our topology, we see that air, I mean ASBR or R1 or R2 are are both in area 0. So that's why we see the output here. This is R1 and this is R2. And we can see the advertising router here. And next is uh, network link states or network SLA generated by the DR. The link state ID will be the interface IP address of the DR. Okay, let's verify that here. So, okay, so from R1, OSPF neighbor. Yeah, this is R2 is the DR and generated by the DR. So this is actually the subnet between R1 and R2 here. Yeah, that makes sense. And next is the summary SLAs generated by the ABR and flooded into other areas. So what we can see, I mean, how we can verify this by going to R3. Yeah, we can check R3 and we can see that here, summary SLA. Let's check summary. We can see, we can also see this on R, or we can also see it on R3, I mean R1. So this is summary, I mean in a excuse me, a subnet in area 1, and R2 is the ASBR, I mean the ABR in this case, and it's telling us about this link IDs, or summary SLAs. We can also check that on R3 here. All right, next is other routers need to know where to find the ASBR. So in our case, ASBR is R1, as you can see here. This is why the ABR will generate a summary ASBR SLA, which will include the router ID of the ASBR in the link state ID field. Okay, so let's check R3. So summary ASBR SLA. So that would be this one. So let's see. This is the advertising router is R2, and this is the ASBR link ID, this is why which will include the router ID of the ASBR in the link ID field. Yeah, that's correct. You can see it. We can see that here. Okay, next is type 5 or external LSA. So this is also known as autonomous system external SLA. The external SLAs are generated by the ASBR. Okay, let's check that from this one. So this is our ASBR R1, and this is the external SLA. Okay. Uh, or these are the, I mean, these are the um, external link states or SLAs, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about. I mean, that's how you can verify the SLA types on routers. And we have used these verification commands. Actually, I also wanted to show you this because it's actually a good command to verify the routes as well, the OSPF routes. So from R1, we see that this router, I mean uh, this subnet is or route is being learned via R2. You can see that here. And this route is learned via R2 as well. And these are all inter-area routes, as you can see here. And from R2, OSPF, I mean route OSPF. Yeah, we see that we are learning this route via R1. This is actually R1 is our ASBR, so we are tagging this as a external type 2. And this is what R1 is. This is the route that R1 is redistributing into OSPF actually. OSPF. Yeah, here. Next is 1. Okay. So connected routes. Because we are already redistributing this. I mean, okay, that makes sense. All right, so next is R3, OSPF, no, OSPF. Yeah, we are learning the same external route via R2. So this is a good way of verifying the, the OSPF routes, and you can actually look at both output here, this output and this output. That's a good way to verify things. All right, that's all I want to talk about in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.